What is up, everybody? J Nell here with my UFC 211 recap video. Happened last night. I hope you saw because it was a really good event. I made 6 predictions, broke even, 3 out of 3. First off, the prelims real quick were off the chain. Starting off, I didn't see the pre-prelims, but starting off with Vic getting the first round KO against Reyes. The two big boys, Sherman and Coulter, on one leg, nearly coming back and getting fight of the night. They totally deserved it. The Trailer Park Country Brawl, Michael Knight getting a performance bonus coming out on top. And then, of course, let's get into my predictions now. The main event of the prelims, I chose Eddie Alvarez to beat Dustin Poirier. Boy, did this shape up to be even better than what we thought it was going to be. And then, controversy. So let's talk about it. Now, I said, Eddie Alvarez, you need to stick to your game plan. If you stand up with this boy too long enough, he's going to get the better of the stand-up game because he's a slicker, more creative striker than you are. And that's what was happening. Dustin got the better of the first round. He won the first round. He was actually kind of tagging Eddie up a little bit. Eddie went for some takedowns, but really didn't get it. Second round, more of the same. Dustin was able to really clock and tag Eddie, had Eddie reel and going back. Eddie seemed like he was almost out on his feet, okay? And this is how this went. It was so amazing. So Eddie had his back up against the cage, and Dustin's going off, teeing off. I'm like, I'm about to lose this pick. I'm about to lose this pick. Eddie, being the warrior that he is, he's sliding and punching back, exchanging while he's almost getting knocked out, while probably out on his feet. And then boom, clocks Dustin Poirier, spins Dustin Poirier to where now Dustin's back's up against the cage, and Eddie is teeing off on Dustin. Oh my God. We were going crazy. The crowd was going crazy. This was crazy. They were booing Eddie before. Now the crowd is chanting Eddie, okay? This was amazing. So now he's got Dustin against the cage. Dustin sliding, moving, trying to avoid getting knocked out. He's trying to wrestle him now, trying to take him down. Okay. So I didn't even realize at the time that Texas hadn't adopted the new rules. So I thought the first knee was illegal. Turns out, no. Both these knees were illegal. So the first knee connected while Dustin was slumped over with one hand on the ground. He kneed him in the face. New rules haven't applied here in Texas yet. That knee was illegal. Now, the second knee, though, I saw at first that both hands were down. Come to find out on the many replays, not only were both hands down, I believe both knees were down. At least one knee was down. Dustin was down, okay? And Eddie connected with this second knee flush to the face, which slumped Dustin over. He landed flat on his face. Refs called in, doctors called in. Ref, this is Herb now. Herb makes a mistake, a huge mistake here. He says, can you continue? You can't continue, right? And they rule this a no contest. Someone let me know if they've already changed this to a DQ. This is a disqualification on Eddie Alvarez. Both the first and the second knee were illegal. Herb D made a mistake by not stopping the fight after the first knee and taking away a point. He should have stopped it then. Yeah. This is not a no contest. It's a disqualification, winner Dustin Poirier. So someone let me know if they've already changed that, if they're going to change it, if Dustin's going to petition the board. Who would you like both these men to fight next? If not, just fight each other. Eddie, again, when they're hitting the heat of the moment, even Herb Dean says, I don't believe he did it on purpose, especially since Herb didn't stop him the first time. That's a mistake on Herb Dean. So it's unfortunate to see a fight that was shaping up to be amazing in like this. So let me know what you think. Did they change it already? Do you think they should change it? Should they fight each other? Should they fight someone else? What you thought about the whole situation? Now on to the main card. Okay, that was just the prelims. On to the main card. I shouldn't have made this pick. When I found out the Pettis Cejudo fight was off, I shouldn't have made a pick for this on Instagram and Twitter because I would have been 3 out of 5. Instead of 3-3, I chose Christoph Jotko to beat David Branch. He did not. And I think he should have. I think he let this one slip through his fingers. First round went to David Branch. He was able to take him down, hold him down, but not do too much damage. Christoph was able to get back up. In the second round, a little bit more of the same, except for Christoph was doing better in space. And instead of when he was able to get back up and detach, instead of detaching, he would engage the grappling and push him up against the cage and take him down, which he was not a better grappler. So what he ended up doing is basically neutralizing them both. And we saw booing and we saw really no action, just them kind of neutralizing each other up against the cage and on the ground. And to me, Christoph was getting the better of the stand-up game, but he wasn't dominating in that first round. In fact, David actually clocked him a couple times, and I think he got frustrated and didn't want to go back there. When really, if I think he would have went back there to where you actually are more talented, by the end of the fight, by the second or third round, I think you would have clearly been dominating him on the feet. So I don't know why, when you had that chance to stand up, you engaged, initiated the clinch and the wrestling I thought that was a poor choice. So David Branch got the split decision, I believe it was. And I agree, but it was a womp womp. Especially coming off those prelims, honey. Who would you like David Branch to fight next? Next up, I didn't get this pick. And I knew in the weigh-ins, when I saw the look in Frankie Edgar's eye, that I wasn't going to get this pick. We'll talk about why later. But I still stuck with it. And Frankie Edgar dominated my boy. Ooh, Yair Rodriguez. And ooh, Yair's face by the end of the first round. Okay, so Frankie... Yair had the reach advantage. He was trying to do his thing, trying to get his game going. It was a little bit too many. I think he tried to get comfortable too quickly. I think you knew you couldn't open up like that with Frankie, so you probably should have held back a little bit more. Frankie was able to get him down to the ground. And when he did, there was no getting up for Yair. He tried to throw them legs up. He tried to go for the neck, for the arm, for submissions. He tried to scramble, give his back up. He tried to do everything he could. And Frankie, being the veteran that he was, just rode him, ground and pounded him up, busted him up. By the end of the first round, ooh, your face. Okay, so, and then by the end of the first round, Joe Rogan, his eye was so swollen. And Joe Rogan was like, why did his camp not use the Inswell? Why did they not use it? I don't know why they didn't use it, but they didn't. Second round, more of the same. Came back, face, both eyes, nose, head, forehead. Ooh, Yair's face. Came back to the corner. Doctor came in, stopped the fight. Yair's a warrior. He was like, I can see. Everyone knew, Yair, that you could not see. Okay, so good stoppage. Yair couldn't see. Got to protect the fighters. Good win for Frankie Edgar, who had a heavy heart. Turns out one of his coaches lost their 1-year-old child a few days before this fight, overnight. So that is, yeah. So he, his whole camp was emotional. They all wanted, a win. They wanted something positive. Afterwards, he, shot out to his the people there, and he said he just wanted to go home with his kids. So when I found that out and saw the look in his eyes at the weigh-in, I knew he was going to win. But Jesus, his face. All right, who do you want to see Frankie Edgar fight next? Now, on to the picks I got. This broke me even. I got the next three. Chose Damian Maia to beat Jorge Masvidal. This was a split decision in his favor, and I do agree because of the first round. The first round, I felt like he dominated more time. In space, you could see that, and standing up, that Jorge was better. He was able to tag him. He had the cleaner shots. He had better movement. He was also quicker. Also, in the weigh-ins, when I saw how much bigger Damian Maia was than Jorge, I was like, okay, if this goes down to the ground, Jorge, you're in trouble. At first, Damian did get him down the ground, and in the scramble while Jorge was trying to get up, he took his back and basically rolled that out for majority of that first round. And it was like watching a snake trying to eat the prey. But Jorge Masvidal was not gotten. He was not choked out. He was just on the defense that whole time with Damian on his back for over 3 minutes. By the end of the round, about 20 seconds left, he was able to get Damian on the ground and mount some ground and pound. But to me, it was not enough to get that first round. So the first round to me went to Damian Maia, and the second 2 rounds were pretty much even. Literally, the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds, Jorge getting the better of the stand-up game. The next was Damian taking him down and dominating the ground game. So for me, that first round got it for Damian Maia. Afterwards, he went to Dana White and said, I got 7 in a row, blah, blah, blah. Give me that title shot. Dana White said, you got it. So I agree with the decision. Let me know if you don't. I kind of agree with Damian Maia when he said, yes, on the feet, he got the better of the feet, but he didn't dominate me on the feet the way I dominated him on the ground. So I kind of get that. Since it was even, you know what I mean? I was more dominant in my 2 minutes and 30 seconds than he was in his 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I kind of agree with that. Plus, again, like I said, I think he got that first round. So let me know if you agree. If not, if he should get the title shot. If I don't think it will go that way with Tyron Woodley, baby. Now, on to the title fights. First up, the co-main event. And still, the UFC Women's Strawweight Champion, Joanna Jedrzejczyk. She successfully defeated Jessica Andrade. I got this pick. This went all 5 rounds. She basically won all 5 rounds. One of the judges gave one of the rounds by 2. She dominated Jessica Andrade. In the beginning, though, Jessica had a couple of moments where she got on the inside, clocked Joanna in the first round, and developed this huge hematoma swollen thing on her forehead that just kept moving and talking growing as the fight went on. So she did do that. She did manage to slam her, literally pick her up in the air, all muscle, all strength, and slam her on the ground. She wasn't able to hold her there or anything like that. But then other than that, And the slams and all that came less and less, fewer and fewer as the fight went on. Joanna got stronger and just started to put on a clinic, a striking clinic. She even at one point, Jessica slammed her at the end of the fight. She got up casually and just turned her back and started walking away. It was like, I was like, more swag, JJ, more swag. So it was like I said, a clinic, a striking clinic, a beautiful display of her martial arts, her Muay Thai, her striking, her footwork, her hand speed. The girl, gosh, she's it. She's it. And so afterwards, she's trying to build her brand. You know, she's here, American Top Team. She's living here. She's trying to make her money. Let's make her some money. She is a star. Looks like it's probably going to be Rose Namajunas next, but let me know who you think the champ should fight next. Now, main event. Got this pick as well. And still, the UFC heavyweight champion, Stipe Miocic. I thought this was going to be another 5-round war. But nah, he just successfully defeated Junior Dos Santos, the last man to defeat him in the first round via KO. Knocked him out. Like he been knocking out everybody else. Like he's been knocking out everybody else. The one thing I said that he had on JDS was his movement, and immediately the very first 2 kicks that JDS landed to his Stipe's leg, his knee, or his shin, excuse me, looks like it started to hinder his movement, and I was like, oh no. If he's hindering your movement already in the first round, I might lose this pick, but I think that gave Stipe some urgency. He definitely turned it on. He was able to clip him with a punch, get him on the ground, ground and pound, refs off the fight. It was over. Done. And still, he has successfully defended it twice, which is tied with, I can't believe no one has defended the heavyweight title more than twice. That's crazy. So let's see. Stipe will be the one to do that. Who do you think he should fight next? Now, let me know how you did on this event. The whole card, please, because again, like I said, them prelims. Boy, did the main card have something to live up to. The entire event was great. Let me know how you did on your picks, any injury updates, the controversy that we had throughout the event. Let me know. Yeah, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Snapchat. Subscribe, like, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.